Jacksonville, Florida. Supposed neutral ground for these two old rivals. Not a lot of distance separates the two, and when they come here for this clash, it can define a season, no matter what's happened before, what might happen after. Glad to have you with us from TIAA Bank Field, home of the Jaguars in the heart of Duval in Jacksonville, Florida. As we'll see a participant from last year's playoff, the Georgia Bulldogs, taking on the 7th-ranked team in the land, the Florida Gators. For EA Sports College Football, I'm Reese Davis, David Pollack and Jesse Palmer with me. Guys, it's time to get it going. Georgia about to kick it off to get us underway. And he'll just take a knee, and this drive will start at the 25. He'll keep it himself. Got to be smart, patient, great vision. Uses all of that to get to the 29. Deep in the season, that crisp air all around you, and this feels like a must-win game, guys.
This is a game that will impact the college football playoff. It'll have conference championship implications, and it'll have bowl game implications as well. David, so much riding on the line in this one.
And you can feel it, man. You can feel the...
Picked off, and the opening drive is stopped with an interception. Looking for more room. And he has taken it all the way back. Touchdown, Georgia.
What a play by the defense, coming out early in the game on the very first drive and setting the tone. Not just forcing a 3-and-out, not just forcing a punt. How about creating a turnover and taking it to the house? Pick 6.
Setting up for the extra point after the first score of the game. And with the extra point, they get the first 7 of the game. Kickoff unit on the field, and this defense will be called on to protect this lead. And no chance at a return here. They'll start this drive at their own 25. Florida has the ball back, and here comes the offense. Finding themselves down 7-0, they'd love to get a drive going here. They'll try the run. Past the sticks, and he may get more. An explosive play in the running game as he's got the first down. You count up those explosive plays in a game, and you put a little extra star by the big run.
Yeah, this running back is a weapon, boy. He is so good in space. He's got shiftiness. He can make guys miss. And if this guy gets into the second level, watch out.
Turning it on. He's finally stopped, but a big play there with his speed as he moves those sticks.
That time the defense was in man coverage. There was nobody watching the quarterback, so when he took off to scramble, nobody home to make a tackle right away. And he shows you the athleticism, he shows you the speed, and also shows you great decision-making that time, deciding to tuck and run for a huge play on the ground.
And he was fortunate not to lose yardage on that play, able to wedge it back to the line of scrimmage.
You know when you're playing against a defense of this caliber, you're going to have some sort of balance, right? You can't just drop back and throw it every single play. Nothing going on that last run. They're going to have to find another way to get it going and handing the ball off.
A designed run for the quarterback. Oh, he just held it poorly, and it's a fumble. Bounced right back to them. Woo,
Deep breath, right? Man,
And it looks as if they buzzed down. Replay wants to have another peek at that last play. And you know the standard is indisputable video evidence, and the officials will change the call. It'll be 3rd and long. Back to pass, it's Dyer. Going for 6. Throw to the end zone, it's picked off.
I love the defense's approach on this drive. They didn't panic. They gave up some yards, but what did they do? They forced a 3rd down, a predictable situation, played great discipline, broke on the football, and forced the big interception.
Offense working from the pistol. Leaves it with the running back. And maybe he'll get back to the line of scrimmage, but no more than that.
And listen, it's tough. It's a tough proposition. This is a top 10 defense against the run. You know they're physical. You know who they are. But you're not going to bat an eye. And you're going to challenge your guys, especially in the red zone, to be more physical, to be able to continue to run the football against a really good defense.
He'll try the left side. That is a big win for this defense, as they were right there as soon as he got the ball.
I love when defensive backs come up and they are physical and they stick their face in the fan and they aren't scared. Talking to the defensive coordinator coming into this game, he knew his DBs had to tackle well. They had to get these running backs on the ground. Great start on this first drive.
Make up the game plan, and not a lot on the play sheet for this. 3rd and long from inside their own 20. From the gun, wants to pass. Boom, got his man on the right. Building momentum, picking up a chunk of yardage, moving the chains out to the 34.
Well, there's an example of how this tight end could be a big weapon in the passing game. That time on the corner route. Does a nice job separating from the defender and hauling in the catch.
He leaves it with his back. Good job running tough and behind his pads as he gets up to the 38-yard line. You know what I really like about games like this at this point in the season? You find out who you are. You find out whether you're going to stay in the race.
And who can step up and handle the challenge, right? This is easily one of the toughest games to date for both of these programs coming into this one. So there's a lot of eyeballs, David, on this game to find out who's mentally and emotionally the toughest.
Yeah, and we're going to point to this game as we get later in the year and big decisions are made. You've got a top 25 win. You beat them in the middle of the season, X, Y, and Z, so these are big for the resume.
And the Dogs are on the move. They try to pop a run on the draw. And a good, solid pickup there before the defense knocks him down.
Well, it's plays like that that'll help this offense stay in rhythm all game long. If you can have that kind of success on 1st down running the football, it just opens up your entire playbook moving forward.
Quarterback keeper. He is going nowhere. Stop at the line of scrimmage. The Dogs are at the line trying to move the sticks on 3rd and short. To the air, it's Clark. The quick out. Oh, he's got some space. They are on the move down to the 32, and they pick up another 1st down.
Well, we know this guy is special, and because of that, his quarterback is looking to him on critical down and distances. There on that 3rd down, there was no question. It wouldn't have mattered if he was single covered, double covered, man, zone. That's where he was going with it, and the big-time playmaker outside picks up the 1st.
Looking downfield on 1st down. Dumps it off to the flats. They stop him just short of the first down, but it will be 2nd and inches coming up. The Bulldogs come to the line. This situation, you might see a shot play. They got him to jump. The defense got into the neutral zone, and that'll be a 1st down. The officials offer the deal, and the coach accepts it. They will take the penalty. 3 yards, 1st down for the offense after that penalty. The give to the tailback. And the defense holds firm. No pickup at all on that play.
And that play shows you really what this defense is about. It's a difficult one to attack. They're really good. One of the best in the country. They come at you from all angles. So I'm interested to watch. How do you mix up the play calling? How do you keep the defense off balance? Because they are a good one.
2nd down, he'll throw it. Unloads it left. Tosses it incomplete.
Well, on the opening drive of the game, establishing a rhythm and a cadence offensively is really, really important. They've done some good things on this first drive to put them in this situation. Obviously, you just threw an incompletion on 2nd down. You're likely going to throw it again here right now. Quarterback has just got to settle in. Timing is important. Get rid of the ball on time. Trust your read and execute this passing play if you're throwing.
Now facing a 3rd and long. To the air, it's Clark. Got it! They will score! Touchdown, Dogs!
One of the reasons this offense is so exciting to watch, they've got guys that are dangerous after the catch. And if this quarterback gets through his progression, David, hits you in stride, these guys will take it to the house.
Man, it's your job to do the rest, right? You hit me in stride where I don't have to stop running. I don't have to break down. It makes it so easy. The connection between quarterback, wide receiver, you can tell this is a good one, and that's why they got 6 on that play.
Now to make sure this kickoff team covers properly to pay off that last scoring drive. And it'll come out to the 25. No attempt at a return. They'll put this one in play. First snap of the drive from the 25. Off the play fake on 1st down to throw. He puts some heat on that one down the middle. And the catch and run into the end zone. Touchdown, Florida!
Well, this offense is top 10 in the country in points per game because they've got a lot of speed and they've got home run hitters. They score fast. They don't need 10 plays to go down the field. You saw it right there. They've recruited well. They've got playmakers. They're going to be a problem for defenses all year long.
And it's up and good as they draw just a touch closer. That kind of drive will boost your confidence. One play, hit the big pass, put a touchdown on the board. So after getting into the end zone on that last drive, they're set to kick it away. From inside his own 10, let's see what he gets. He was looking for some running room, but not much to be found as he stopped at the 18. The defense going to stop the clock with a timeout. They want to make sure they have everybody on the same page. Back to pass, it's Clark. Fires to the right. Got a man, it's Wiley. Moves it out to the 34-yard line. A nice 15-yard gain on that one.
That's an absolute strike right there. Giving me some Stetson Bennett vibes, some Aaron Murray vibes, even Matthew Stafford with the arm talent on that throw. I'll tell you, they can attack any spot of the field in the passing game because of this guy's talent.
He's got him. They make the stop, but this passing game does some damage, and they move the sticks with the 1st down. We're through one, and what a back-and-forth battle between these two quarterbacks as we look at the stats. They are lined up and ready to go and get things started here in the second. So they'll go back to work after changing into the field. The inside handoff. And there was nowhere to go, just stopped in his tracks in the backfield. It's amazing how play by a defensive end in the backfield can really swing the momentum not only of a series but of a game sometimes.
All you're trying to do is create negative plays, to get them behind the sticks a little bit, to get those sacks, to get those tackles for losses. You see so much stunting in college football up front with the defensive line because you know once you get one of those plays, you got the offense right where you want it.
Fires into traffic, intercepted. Got room on the return. Touchdown, Gator. The defense putting points on the board.
How about a game-changing play for this defense? Stepping in front of the football and knowing what to do with it, taking it all the way to the end zone.
Setting up for the extra point and the tie. And for a quick update, let's go to Kevin Connors in the studio.
Dynamite matchup this week in the ACC, fellas. Arizona looks like 5 miles of bad road today. Offensively, the wheels have come off. Defensively, it's been one pothole after another. They're trailing by 14 to South Carolina.
And the ball pops out. Oh, inviting disaster. Defense falls on the ball. Going to be a turnover.
Kick returners usually have to have that home run ability, the ability to take it to the house 100-plus yards. But it's also a tough skill because you've got all these guys flying down the field so fast, and sometimes you get a big hit in ball security.
There he goes. Doing damage on the ground as he runs it down to the 11-yard line.
How about the play by the speed back? You think about speed, you think about breaking ankles. He broke the tackle because he's so fast, moving so fast, hard to get the guy on the ground.
Going to work on second down in the red zone, and still some ground to cover to pick up that first down. Quarterback on the keeper. And he's loose, and he'll take it to the house. Touchdown, Florida!
And you see the option being such a pain in the behind of the best programs in college football. When you got quarterbacks that have those multiple options, they're making you play very disciplined, and the QB takes it himself and gets in for the score.
And the extra point is true, and they're on top by 7. Kickoff unit on the field, and this defense will be called on to protect this lead. And he takes this from inside the 5. And the coverage team able to wrestle him down. Another look at this Bulldog offense. They'll try to answer that last score with one of their own. A chance here to tie the game with a touchdown drive. Looking for a man. It's Clark. Got his man. He stopped just a chain link or two away from the first down and sets them up beautifully here.
This slot receiver gives defensive coordinators nightmares. You have got to double him virtually on every pass play. He better have safety help over top. Otherwise, this guy's a threat to score every time they throw the ball.
They'll go up top on second and short. Those two failed to make the connection. It's an incomplete pass. And the Bulldogs come to the line needing just inches for the first down. They're going to go to the air on third and short. Complete. A quick tackle made, but he's got plenty for the first down. David, as a Georgia legend, when I say Florida, what comes to mind?
Ugh. I mean, that's the easiest question you've asked me yet. I mean, there's nothing that I ever liked or enjoyed about the Florida Gators, just playing in that rivalry. You know, it's not a neutral site right now. It's in Jacksonville, Florida. Like, that's not neutral. It's way closer to Florida. It's way closer to Florida fans. But this rivalry, I'm telling you, every single year, that was the #1 team you wanted to beat.
Wide receiver comes in motion. Second down, they'll go to the air. Throws to the wideout. Got him downfield. He found plenty of room, and he gets it to the 39-yard line.
Well, Reese, you and I were talking about this before the game. How is this defense going to be able to deal with all the speed they have offensively? You saw them just rip off a big play.
And, Jesse, now their head's spinning just a little bit. Give up a big chunk play, and it's right back at them. This Georgia offense moving quickly down the field. Out of the gun, the inside give. Breaks into the open. And they'll stop him just short of the first down, just inches away from moving the sticks.
Man, when I can run the football like that on first down and create second and inches and stay way ahead of the sticks and be in a position now where I can throw the football or run, I will have a lot of success on the offensive side of the football.
And the Dogs have a lot of options on second and inches. Dropping back, it's Clark. Knocked down after a short game, but enough to move those chains. These two first met back in 1915, and for much of their histories, they've been sleeping giants. But man, when they wake up, do they wake up?
Well, two programs, obviously, with a lot of history and a lot of great players in the past, but I feel like because of the recent success of both Georgia and Florida in the last couple of decades, this is a game every year that everybody, not just in the SEC, but I think around the country, have circled because of what this game means.
Well, and it's so cool when you're a fan and you played in this game like me and Jesse both have. You can go back to a singular moment like Run, Lindsey, Run in 1980, which was a 3rd and long on their own 7 that they converted Georgia to go on to win a national title. Big games decided by big moments that live forever.
Georgia ready to dial it up on another first down. Clock stops. We have reached the 2-minute timeout, and they've got a chance to lock this thing up before the break. The Dogs had tough field position to start this drive, but they've been relentless in moving the ball methodically down the field. Leaves it with the back. He's brought down at the 7-yard line, and they are threatening to take it in. Going to work in the red zone, they can pick up the first down without getting it into the end zone. The give to the back. And this one will be stopped for no gain.
That's a backbreaker if you're the offensive coordinator, because on the first down, you ran the ball, had a really nice gain. Short yardage situation, you just get completely blown up. And now you're having to probably dial up a throw on 3rd down. You need more consistency from the guys up front.
Boy, they love to move the sticks here and take a shot at it on 1st and goal. To the air, it's Clark. He makes a grab. Gets it inside the 5, down to the 4, and it'll be 1st and goal.
Well, not down in distance, the quarterback's got to get rid of it so quickly, right? He knows the defense is going to be bearing down on him, so a nice job catching the gun snap and then turning and pivoting, getting it out of his hands quickly and accurately to pick up the first.
He's going for the goal line, and he's into the end zone. Touchdown, Bulldogs!
I was so excited for this game because I just knew it was going to be a back-and-forth battle, and that's what we've seen here. Great job by the quarterback, good decision, reading the coverage, accurate throw. They get the extra point. This thing is all knotted up.
And he puts through the extra point. They put it in the end zone with a 12-play scoring drive. And they cap the drive with a 4-yard touchdown pass. All tied up and just about set to kick it away. And no chance at a return here. They'll start this drive at their own 25. Plenty of time left in the half here as they take over, but they will want to be efficient here in the final 2 minutes. They'll run it from the gun. Not much running room there thanks to this senior defender.
That's a really nice play. It's impressive. When it's first down and the defense thinks you might be running the football, you still can line up, you can get some movement at the point of attack and find a little crease for your running back.
Bring in the heat. And the heat will get home, and the quarterback goes down at the 17. Timeout called here by the defense. It's their first of the half. Now a lot of work to do to move the chains, keep this drive alive after that earlier sack. This quarterback part of their running game. Quick timeout by the defense here, trying to make sure everyone has the same call.
Well, they try to go quarterback design run on that play, but the defense just not buying it. Nice job, everybody playing downhill and making a tackle close to the line of scrimmage.
He'll field the punt and see what he can get. Looking everywhere for room to run, but really good coverage, and he'll step out of bounds. They'll get a chance to work on that hurry-up offense here in the final minute of the first half. Back to throw, it's Clark. Unloads to the wideout. Picked off, and they ruin an early drive with the turnover. Picked up a few extra on that return, but what a play by this defense to get the football. First snap of this drive will come from their own 32. Used the play fake, now to throw. Caught over the middle, it's Ferguson. They'll immediately call timeout.
Man, it's so important when you play QB. I got to know when to put some air on it, and I got to know when to rocket that thing in there. Work in the middle of the field, he knew he needed the rocket, threw it in there. Great job, great catch.
Back to throw, and they've got to be aware of the clock. Oh, he's ready to take a shot. And it's picked off for the third time today. And they get the takeaway and prevent points from going up just before the end of the half.
And he makes a play in the back end. Nice job reading the pass, and that's his second of the season. This guy, unbelievable job seeing the quarterback, breaking on the quarterback, and going and getting that big play.
And they'll bring him down after a short pickup. One snap coming before they head to the locker room. One running back in the backfield, and he has it. And after that short game, they'll head to the locker room for halftime. First half in the books. Time now to join Kevin Connors in our halftime update. The Gators will line up to kick off and start the second half. Fielded in the end zone, it's Walters. And the coverage team gets the returner on the ground. Georgia ready to go back to work on offense. First drive of the second half, always fun to watch. You see what type of tweaks were made at the half, especially when you're locked up in a ball game like this one.
Yeah, and it's been a good game. I mean, it's been a little bit of back and forth and a feeling out process. And now once you get in the second half, who's going to get aggressive, Paul? Who's going to take some shots, try to make some plays, and really go for it?
Yeah, it's interesting. I think as play callers right now, you learn a lot about these coaching staffs with respect to who does make the best adjustments. There's a lot of coaches that believe we're just going to be who we are. We're going to keep doing what we do. We're just going to do it better. But then there are others that tweak things a little bit on offense and
turning it on. Out of bounds at the 43-yard line after the huge pickup.
When you talk about creating big plays in the running game like this makes the game really easy. Actually, when you've got a guy like this that you can hand it to with this much speed and elusiveness, just hard to bring down in the open field, what a big gain for the offense.
The Bulldogs come to the line after ripping off that huge gain on the ground, trying to keep it going. And he was fortunate not to lose yardage on that play, able to wedge it back to the line of scrimmage.
Stopping the run is very high on every defensive coordinator's list. Making the team one-dimensional. Nice job stuffing the run on that play right there.
Didn't get much on first down. It's 2nd and 9. Wide receiver going in motion. Off the play fake. Fires to the wideout. Intercepted. That's why you do the tip drill. Bringing it back. At the 20. Touchdown Gator. And they turn it into a defensive score.
you always hear the old saying, tips lead to picks. Quarterbacks have got to be careful. You've got to be so accurate with the ball. If you're not, and a defender tips that thing up into the air, bad things generally happen. Pick 6. Doesn't get much worse than that.
Let's go to the studio now and check in with Kevin Connors. Kevin, what do you got?
Week to week, it's so tough to figure the Mountain West, which is why this one is notable. Boise State is in front. They've played awfully well today, and while there's no Kellen Moore out there, this group is fighting. They're up by 11 over Colorado. The Mountain West likes to keep things interesting, and we'll circle back if anything big happens. Gentlemen?
And how about that one? Kevin will be keeping an eye on everything going on elsewhere. On the move from inside his 5. And the returner runs out of real estate as he goes down. We're ready to get another look at this Bulldog offense. This possession will be a test after squandering that long drive, throwing a pick 6, Jesse.
You're right, Reese. Well, I think this is really dependent, too, on the leaders in this huddle right now to step up and help this offense get back on pace here on this drive.
Yeah, and this defense is frothing at the mouth. They're excited. They're jacked up. They just made a big play. They got all the momentum, so they're ready to hunt.
Motion from the wide receiver. Looking downfield, it's Clark. And this will be incomplete. A big hit there forces second down.
Not many receivers like to get hit. They just don't, okay? They're prima donnas. That's what they are. That's who they are. Nice job by the defender. You could tell he was catching the football. He was going to put a hit on him to make sure he had to think about something later, and you could see the ball pop out and fall.
And it is another interception. Just a terrible struggle for this quarterback. And they'll close in on him after a good return on the interception.
And if you're the quarterback, you might want to stop throwing that guy's way. I mean, you knew coming into this game, David, he's one of the best corners in the entire country. He's already been picked off twice now. He is literally living in this quarterback's head rent-free.
And so nice to have a guy like this that can cut off half the field. Because now you can put resources elsewhere. He's proven, if you try me, bad things are going to happen.
How nice is it in this offense to have your best receiver playing in the slot? You're matching him up against linebackers, against safeties, or nickel corners. Nickel corners are oftentimes the defense's third best cornerback. This guy is virtually uncoverable.
He'll pull it on the read. Makes a stop in the backfield. He'll lose 4.
Phenomenal job by the defense that time, shutting down the option play. They knew they were going to see this in this game, and all week long in practice, they really focused on this assignment football, making sure the dive, the quarterback, the pitch, all taken away. Nowhere to go with the football that time offensively. The defense coming up with a huge negative play.
On 3rd and long, he has to throw for it. Makes the grab on the left. And they make the stop, and this offense has it inside the 5, and they are threatening. The Gators will try to convert on 4th down. This is a designed run. And he'll finish the run in the end zone. Touchdown, Florida! Now they've got a little breathing room. They are in firm control of this game, guys, but you never want to let up in a rivalry game.
Because it only takes one play. We know how much of a factor momentum can be in these types of rivalry games, David, so this game's still far from over.
And this is where my leadership and my experience comes into play. When you got guys that have been through these fires, been through these rivalry games, you know the swings happen quick. Now you got to swing it back your way.
Here he comes from inside his own 5. He was hoping for something a little more dynamic, but they get him on the ground at the 20. And Georgia ready to go back to work on offense. Now we'll get a chance to see if they can answer that last score, trailing by 14, Jesse.
Yeah, and at this point of the game, I feel like offensively, you should go back to what's been working for you in this game. Don't be afraid to dial up plays that you've already had success with, running it and throwing it. It's okay to repeat plays down 14 at this point.
And I would also say, Palmer, kind of understanding that my defense is not playing great, so I know offensively I got to put some good possessions together here, make something happen on this side of the football.
Looking to throw, it's Clark. Using the quick game. And the defense settled in to stop that one for a short gain.
Coming into this one, I thought this guy was going to be a monster. He was going to put up huge numbers. We know this is a big part of the offense week in, week out. The defense has done a great job clamping down on him. That is only his 2nd catch so far in this game.
Quick completion on the out. Finds a little bit of room and finally wrestled out of bounds at the 43.
I love the anticipation on that throw by the QB on the out route. You got to throw it before the receiver comes out of his break. Nice work.
Georgia coming out with a fresh set of downs. They'll move the tight end. To the air on 1st down. Got it set up on the outside. Didn't have much room to run and not a whole lot of help. Short gain there. It's still plenty of ground to cover for the 1st down.
I'll tell you what, if you want to be overzealous, you want to be a blitzer all the time, I like running the screen right behind him. Did a great job throwing the screen. Almost broke this one for a long game, but it just keeps the defense a little bit more honest if you want to start bringing a lot of pressure.
I'll tell you, this running back, he's running behind an offensive line that is playing in unison right now, doing a great job communicating pre-snap. They're getting hats on hats in the run game.
And the Bulldogs back to the line on 1st down. Let's see if they keep leaning on this running game. Looking to throw on 1st down. Working that left side now. And maybe he'll get back to the line of scrimmage, but no more than that.
Nice job, defense. You always hear people talk about tackling the catch. You saw it right there. There was nowhere for that receiver to go once he had possession. As a result, no gain.
So now it's 2nd and long. It's Clark. Throws to the wideout. Fires it incomplete.
Well, this has been a day to forget if you're this quarterback. And I got to be honest, guys, I'm surprised he's still even in the game right now because he's had zero rhythm. He hasn't been accurate. He's thrown a ton of interceptions. Most coaches would have pulled their guy by now. I know the guy I played for back in college, he would have pulled me about 2 interceptions ago.
On 3rd and long, trying to have a big completion here. It's incomplete, and this ought to be a boost of confidence for this defense, getting a stop against these guys on 3rd down. Offense calls a timeout here, critically important to make sure they have the right play call and everyone on the same page here. Trailing by multiple possessions in the 3rd and desperately needing a score, they'll go for it on 4th down. He'll try to throw and pick up the 1st down. Gets it out fast. Will not get there. A 4th down stop.
You know, offensively in that situation, 4th down, you're throwing for it. Everything has to go right, or someone just needs to be able to make a play to keep the drive alive. They couldn't get it done, and now the offense is coming off the field.
They'll put the ball in play from just inside their own 40 at the 30. Oh, he's got some space. And a 9-yard gain on 1st down leaves him with 2nd and short.
Well, we're not quite in the 4th quarter yet. We're almost there, but you're seeing the attitude shift now for this offense. They've got the lead, so they've got to be able to run the football. You're going to see a lot more of that, I think, as this game keeps going on. They're trying to wear this defense down when the game is almost over.
All down, but they'll move the sticks as he picks up the 1st down. He now has 53 yards on the ground so far, and he is closing in on that 1,200-yard mark for the season. The give to the lone running back.
This shouldn't be a surprise to anybody. If you've got the lead in the 3rd quarter and you want to keep it, you got to bleed the clock. Best way to do that, run the football. And you're now seeing this offense call these run plays back to back. They are trying to be physical. They're trying to stay on the field.
And he is stopped immediately by the big defensive lineman. We've reached a break. It's Florida with the lead. Let's take a quick look at the national rankings to see how this playoff race is shaping up. As we start the 4th quarter, it'll take a pretty sizable comeback to win this one. With the break, they had a little extra time to dial something up for this 3rd down play. The offense will have to use its 1st timeout of the half.
Timeout, Florida.
And the Gators come to the line on 3rd down, trying to keep this drive alive. The play-action fake. Buying some time. They've got the play bottled up. Fumble, it's out!
And those are so frustrating when you're a defense and you swarm to the football and you stick the quarterback and you make him cough it up just to have the other team recover it again and you don't get it. Still a good stick, still a good physical play. Keep hitting that quarterback.
And they're running out the kicker to give it a try. Offense calls a timeout here. Critically important to make sure they have the right play called and everyone on the same page here. They already have a comfortable lead up by multiple possessions, but they're going to go for it here on 4th down. Motion from the wideout. They want to run this quarterback. They knock him down, but he's got enough to get it across the line and pick up the first down.
Man, it's so nice to have a QB that can do that can run and make plays when you need it. Late in the football game, trying to run this clock out, preserve the win. He picks up the big first down and keeps the clock moving.
They'll leave it with him. There he goes. Corralled and forced out of bounds. Mark it right at the 16-yard line, and man, are they in business.
And man, this is exactly how this offensive coordinator wants to end this football game. Ground and pound, let that clock tick, add to this lead, and make the defense stop you.
Now rolling to the left. Quickly complete. Touchdown, Gator! And they take it in for 6 more points. They tack on another score, and how about the way this team has responded to a loss and now about to move to 9-1. Another touchdown for this guy, and he's starting to get in a groove the way Terry Dean did when he set the single-game record with 7 touchdowns.
Another one. I mean, just putting up stats. This guy's finding the end zone, and he can do it all, just showing it off left and right. When you play in such a physical league like the SEC, but you got a guy like this that can get an extra first down and really keep those chains moving and score big plays and big touchdowns, good luck stopping him.
On the run from inside his own 5. He was looking for some running room, but not much to be found as he stopped at the 18. We're ready to get another look at this Bulldog offense. It looks as if this game is going to be one to just drag to the recycle bin, but the idea now is to finish strong and just take whatever happens in the rankings next week. Nice gain on that play, but a little bit short of the first down.
Here's the deal. You're down with 3 possessions. You know, it doesn't feel likely they're going to come back and win, but we've seen crazier stuff happen in college football. It all starts with a big completion on a 2-minute drive. They'll get the momentum started in your direction.
Unloads to the right. And the timing just a hair off.
Yeah. Into this game knowing that for them to win, they were going to have to make some big plays throwing the football. That just has not been the case. Here in the 4th quarter, they've been held to less than 200 passing yards, and that's really the story of the game, guys.
And the Dogs come to the line on 3rd and short, trying to convert here. Dropping back, it's Clark. The throw to the outside is complete. And he's got enough for the first down. They'll mark it at the 34.
It's tough on the defense there. 3rd down, you're in zone coverage. Everybody's watching the quarterback, and you're trying to make a break on the ball, but he just got it out of his hands too quickly, and the throw was too accurate. Really nothing you can do there, and it's now a fresh set of downs.
They'll move the wide receiver. Looking to throw on 1st down. And his 5th interception of the game, a miracle they haven't pulled him yet. Couldn't find a ton of room on that return, but that small change, they take over at the 43. The Gators sending the offense back to work. This has been exactly the way you draw things up, David. The offense has really been moving the football.
And it's been great execution. They've done exactly what they've wanted to do. Build the lead. Now Palmer's a different animal. Now you got to protect him.
You can tell they were paying attention in practice this week in the film room because they have gone out, everybody right now on the same page.
He sends 3 receivers right, maybe looking for man coverage on the left on 2nd and 5. Wants to go up top. Tackle was made at the 33. It's about a 5-yard pickup, and that'll be enough for a first down.
Wow, the quarterback knew he had to get that one to his receiver quickly on the in route. Did you see the velocity on that throw?
Using his feet, plows through the defense. Now he's got it all the way down to the 21-yard line, and they are threatening on first down.
Sometimes as a quarterback, you just need to take the game over yourself. You need points to win, and it's going to come down to you throwing it or maybe running it like you just saw there to get that done.
Here's a quick throw out to the left. And a good job in coverage there as they stop it after just a few.
I love this defense's ability to fight off blocks and rally to the football. They do such a great job pursuing that wide receiver screen to only allow a minimal gain and no first down.
They'll go with the 5 wide out set on 2nd and 7. A run for the quarterback. Stopped at the 13-yard line as the drive continues. The defense calls the timeout. They're second of the day as they try to get their act together. The Gators come to the line on 3rd and short, trying to keep the drive alive. Now the play fake. Quarterback adapting. Got his man. Touchdown, Florida! And they add 6 more to the board with that trip to the house. They've got the lead and trying to put this one in a hammerlock here in Week 10. As Florida fans like to say, come on Gators, get up and go. And they're starting to go and run away from the Dogs.
It's great to be a Florida Gator. The Gators showing off the speed now, running away with this thing in the second half. You're just seeing all the talent that they've been able to recruit down in Gainesville.
Yeah, they've been recruiting talent. You think about Steve Spurrier, had such a great run with Florida as a head coach. They're taking care of business today. They're not making this look like much of a rivalry.
Kickoff unit back to work, and they have been busy as they've built this sizable lead. He'll bring it back from inside his 5. And the ball's free, deep in his own territory. Grabbed by the kicking team.
Hey, as a return guy, you know that you're going to get hot. You know you've got guys that have a 50-yard run at you trying to dislodge the football. You've got to do a better job of ball security.
Off the play fake on first down. Gets rid of it. That completion has them right on the doorstep. They'll mark it at the 1.
The offense trying to throw it there quickly down close to the goal line. Nice job by the defense tackling the catch.
Looking for just 1 more yard. It's 2nd and goal. Clock stops. We have reached the 2-minute timeout, and this offense just a couple of minutes away from putting one in the win column. They'll try it again from the 1 on 2nd and goal.
Convoy. Check.
Trying to barge in. And we have breaking news. They score yet another touchdown.
Pure domination all game long for this offense. Whether they've been running the football, whether they've been throwing the football, critical down and distances, situationally all up and down the field. This defense has had no answer for these guys. What an impressive performance by the O.
Kickoff unit on the field, and this defense will be called on to protect this lead. He'll start the return inside his 5. Good job by the coverage unit to put a stop to that return. They'll try to put a drive together, starting from their own 12. Back to throw, it's Clark. Looking to the big tight end. Working the big fella to the corner. He'll get it up to about the 32-yard line before he stopped, and it'll be first down. Here's this offense with a fresh set of downs. Wants to throw on first down. Unloads to the wideout. On target to the left. And he's brought down after a nice gain.
But when you're throwing these comeback routes, man, the timing has got to be so good between the two of them because you know the ball is going to be in the air a long time. You can't throw it late. It's going to get picked. That time, really nice job getting it out early, and the receiver
breaks into the open. They bring him down, but the big play will move the sticks.
Well, I'll give this offense some credit because they've got a lot of fight. There is no quit in them. They're obviously trailing by a big amount in this game. They haven't had a lot of success, but they're still taking shots, and their players are still out there competing.
And it's incomplete. If you're going to take a hit like that, you might as well hang on to the ball.
And this defense has put a game together. Like, it is hard to put all the facets of defense together. Run defense, pass defense. They've been so good, man. Dialed in. You could tell they were ready. They were fast. They were physical. They dominated this football game today.
Going to swing it on second down. Oh, they're after him. This time it's complete. Headed to the end zone. He'll be brought down at the 3-yard line. An explosive play in the passing game has him on the doorstep.
Well, they execute the in route. How about the arm strength by the QB? That was an absolute bullet on that completion.
Now on first and goal, let's see what Georgia will do. Looking to throw again. Can't make the grab as he was looking for his man right at the goal line.
Man, do I love being a defensive lineman in games like today when you know you got to go get the quarterback. Like, they're down on the other side. They have to throw the football. Only chance they have to get back in. I'm playing the pass every time, pinning my ears back and going to get the quarterback.
Lets it go to the end zone. And it's caught for a touchdown. They're going to play this one through to the end, but this is pretty much window dressing.
And a nice touchdown, continuing to fight, continuing to play. This one, it's pretty much over. Down multiple possessions this late in the football game. It would take a miracle, but nice job by this offense, continuing to fight, push the ball down the field, make plays.
And they tacked on the extra point. At this point, a comeback would take one of the biggest miracles in the history of the sport, but they'll line up for the onside kick. They're on it. They recover the onside kick, and they get it right back. The only thing I can think is he just didn't see him signal for the fair catch. That's an easy call for the official, and they'll accept the penalty. Running back searching for a hole. He is going nowhere. Stop at the line of scrimmage.
Smart offense. I love it, man. Make them use that timeout. Run the football. I can run the football and let that clock now tick inside of a minute. I'm in great situation to win this football game. Just be smart and keep that thing running.
He breaks a tackle. Able to pick his way forward for a decent game before the defense gets him down. Glasses will be raised across the Sunshine State, a toast to the Florida Gators who take down Georgia in this rivalry game. That's going to do it from here. For David Pollack and Jesse Palmer, I'm Reese Davis, and you've been watching another presentation of EA Sports College Football.